Nox Box, everything you need to get your game from the box to the board.
Hey guys, welcome to Nox Box. I am Nock himself. With me tonight is Cordial Rob.
Hello!
And we are joined by another Gribbly, the
Tyranid.
Tyrannocyte. It is that, yeah, it's a Tyranid.
And
Tyrannocyte.
It's a
Or
dual kit.
a Spore Christ. These are words.
Excuse me 1 minute. Spore assist. It's close enough. Right.
Tomato. Tyranid.
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 It'll be fine. Right, we'll start unboxing. Okay, so we're part of the dual kits for the new giant Tyranid Gribblies on large bases. So if we spin over, just to give you a quick highlights
Oh, wow.
on the back of the box. That is, it infiltrates, it spits out mines, or it spits out a giant mine once per game. We'll get to that shortly, but you know, great big mouths, grabbing claws, and a nice array of weaponry. So it won't just sit there being shot at, it will do some shooting. Aha, everyone's favourite parts. Right.
Oh, loads of bases. You're spoiled for choice
6
today.
bases for the little spores. 1 medium-sized infantry base for the mucoid spore, and then 1 rather large base for the Tyrannocyte and the Sporocyst.
That's a good selection of bases.
This makes quite a few things. When they first showed it, I was like, okay, so they're going to be selling separate boxes of spores or things like that. But no, all comes in a box. I'm rather impressed. Okay, so starting with the large pamphlet, so the 2 bits. When I first looked at this, I was like, no, it can't be, because they're little tizzy spores. And look at the size of this thing. But I suppose it's meant to be able to transport a Carnifex, or Hive Guard, or Warriors. Or is it 20 Gaunt?
Yeah, 20 gaunts or 1 monstrous creature.
Yeah.
Or I believe it can do a Russian doll thing, because 1 monstrous creature could be another one.
No, it would be very funny, but no. And then this seems to take up a hell of a lot of space if it's on exactly the same size base, the Sporocyst. That infiltrates. That falls out of the sky, and that goes da-da-da, and then starts spitting out spore mines.
Can we do that again?
Da-da-da! You
Wow.
can tell I'm a PlayStation 1 gamer. But look at the size of this. This is massive. Alright, it comes in 3 bits by the look of it.
But that's only for the central hull, which then has all the exoskeleton, well, the exo armour over the top of it.
Yeah. So here's your side panels, and then look at that. That is rather impressive for one of these.
That's going to have some real height to it, isn't it?
Most certainly. If you think in where they've been showing it on their website, where there's been this gaunt, and then there's this thing like this.
Absolutely.
You can actually imagine the 20 of the things packed in there like sardines. It's very, very impressive. I'm not looking forward to trying to transport it though.
Yeah, that's going to be a pain.
Because it's got 4 connecting feet for that entire base. So it's one of these where I'd be a bit concerned. I'd put weights in the base so it wouldn't be top heavy.
It's not fine cast, it's not metal, so actually it should hold itself pretty well.
It shouldn't be too heavy, but I'd still either pin it or weight the base down so it doesn't wobble at all.
Now this mucoid spore looks like a overgrown spore mine. It's actually the same height as a Carnifex, I believe, if not a bit taller.
We'll see some of the tentacles for it. Yeah, it's huge. It's really, really large.
These are going to have real kind of visual presence on the battlefield.
Oh, most certainly. You imagine one of these landing down, spitting out a cluster of spore mines, or that thing. That's going to stick out like a sore thumb. But that's a good psychological ploy in the game, because the first thing your opponent sees is, oh, this is infiltrated, and if you don't start dealing with it soon, you're going to have stuff floating around the battlefield, screwing up your battle lines. But yeah, look at that for size.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
Do you think, if I grab the big base, that's the size of the big base?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
That's huge.
That's basically that tall on the battlefield as well, if it's the same width as the base.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So now, GW have gone back to their old way, or not the old ways, they've gone halfway back to just printing stat lines and not the actual rules.
This is due to the rules being put online in the White Dwarf, I believe.
Free to download from Black Library.
Yes. Not sure we've had much luck doing that yet, but it'll be fine. Okay, this is a 3 sprue kit. Right.
Big sprue set.
Very big sprue
Oh my
set.
god, that tentacle's huge.
That's one of the feet tentacles.
Yeah, you see the base bit.
That's one of the side tentacles. But what I want to point out is that that's...
Oh wow, that's...
1/4 of the side bit. If I just quickly go back to the...
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, of the central part, isn't it?
Yeah.
That then fits on to make up half the top bit.
That bit. Yeah.
Wow.
Half the top bit. And there's the
That's
bottom
before-
half. That's
so you've
the
got
bottom half.
this on top of this on top of that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a massive height.
I'm exceptionally impressed by this. Just thematically height-wise, because you think of true line of sight, because you can upgrade it. It comes with death spitters, and you can upgrade it with venom cannons. You try hiding behind a wall with that.
5 venom cannons.
Yes, with a selection of arcs.
That's amazing. No, monstrous creature counts as 360-degree arc. All 5 can fire at any one target. Yeah, I've checked it. Seriously.
I hope it's got hang on, what's his ballistic skill? I think it's 3. No, it's 2.
So 5.
That's fine. Ugh, 6 wounds. Yeah, so it turns up. Oh, he's got a leech of bait and 4+ armor save. So, unless you're going to start throwing heavy weapons at it, it's going to be a swine. Minimum auto cannons, but you've still got 6 wounds to chew through, and you can't insta kill it. Okay, right. Here's the head of the nucleoid spore.
What? That's the head of the spore?
That's the big spore. You can only make one of these per turn. The Sporocist. Sporocist?
That's
Sporocist.
gigantic.
It's huge. You know,
You could actually fit a space marine kind of crouched over in there quite easily.
I was thinking obliterated body.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's the side bits for it, and there's... This is where I'm going to have to play guess which tentacle belongs to who.
Now, no, don't forget it's dual purpose. The arm tentacle... the feet that they drop pod the Tyrannocyte lands on, so these tentacles, become the feet
of those.
for the nuclear spore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite good, because that'll be
Look
quite
at that ring of teeth. That's amazing.
there's the rest of the jaw
See,
set
and this is just number 1. So,
Yes.
I'm guessing this sprue is pretty much the exact same, is it?
Nope.
To make up... No, it's just got...
No.
Tentacles, and then gribbly
Vents.
bits. Vents.
And then you've got your new spore mines. These are
Ooh.
new designs. They're still the shatter plate, the acid one. I think there's
That looks very mechanical.
that's a death spitter.
Oh, of course it is. Sorry, look at me being stupid.
But I can see what you mean. But once you paint it up in a set of biocolours, it'll look really different.
Well, the rest of this is entirely organic. Which I know the whole of Tyranids are, but the weapons always look slightly weapony. The rest of this looks like just a pulsating mass.
When we... Well,
It really is like a birthing pod.
well, yes, most certainly. There's the venom cannon.
Yep.
And that's still not looking overly mechanical. But it still ties in nicely with the
Can't
theme.
get away with these tentacles. I want a set of these just for tentacles for my Nurgle stuff.
What is it with you and tentacles?
What can I
Really?
say?
Our God and Saviour? No comment. But look at the side panels. I think these are double-sided. Yeah.
Look at that! All the interior parts. That looks amazing.
All the interior parts. Because if we quickly again swap over here, you've got the panels there on the sides to give it extra armour, or you've got these ones that are splayed out like that.
Absolutely. In fact, you can do them open on the drop pod as well.
Yeah, but can you imagine how much space that takes? They're pointing out either side of that great big panel, and you've got bits sticking out from it as well.
That's amazing.
Oh, you can use it as colour.
Of course, yep.
Yeah, it doesn't move.
Wow.
Why not? But it's really impressive. So here's some of the, I want to say, legs on the
Yeah,
little
those
one.
I guess the kind of stabilisers that lock it into the ground.
pod. But you know,
Wow.
these selection of tentacles you keep ranting on about, you know, really, really nice. And if I basically that's two same kits.
yeah, so these are very...
And
yeah.
body kit.
So these are the two halves.
Yeah.
So each of the new Spawn Mine designs you get twice.
Yeah.
And then, so that gives you the main part, and then that's the finisher.
Yeah. So that's...
So it's a large 3 sprue set.
Oh, certainly. Because there's 3/4
Actually,
of
can we move
the
that onto...
body. And there's the final... There's half. 1, 2, 3.
So they've got an amazing set of body with some tentacles, and then 2 sprues of tentacles.
Tentacles and vents.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you're not getting one, right?
Haha, right. Let's talk rules.
Okay.
Right, so you've seen inside the kit and what all the components are, and I must say, first off, this is the first kit in a long time that I've looked at and thought, oh my god, I want to build this. Because the Nagash, amazing, Glockin, amazing figures, and you look at the bits and you're like, okay, yeah, you put those 4 bits together and it's mostly done.
Yeah.
This is just like, here's the central part of it, and then here's a gazillion tentacles and exhaust vents, and it just looks really fun to build.
I'd be interested to see if some of the tentacles are swappable with things like the venom throats.
I would imagine that they would be very easy to, if they're not directly swappable, to easily modify and pin. Well, you don't have to pin really, it's plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, as potential conversions to these sorts of things, you know, you can make, you've got maybe 3 of them in your army. You can make them all look different quite easily.
Oh, very easy. You've got so many options.
Even if they've all got the same paint scheme for your army.
Well, you've got the choice of the actual armoured carapace if you want to have that closed in or open, because in theory these carapaces open up in order to slow on the landing. Now, sorry, before we get into that, for at least a few years now, this model or lack of model has been quite infamous within GW.
Yeah.
Because it's a key part to arguably a competitive Tyranid army.
It's getting stuff down.
Not had the model. And then the latest incarnation of the Codex, they took it out
completely.
And there was uproar.
A few other things.
Yes, but there was real uproar because that was a key part for a competitive list, and they took it out.
I drop my DAC effects behind your front lines, choose something out, and then you've got to deal with it. Otherwise, it'll deal with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, was not putting it in there and releasing it later an amazingly canny decision by GW, or did they do the unthinkable and listen to the fans?
I would probably lean towards a mixture of both.
With the production time needed, I think it's a really canny move.
I need to look up who designed the kit and see what other kits they've done as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's amazing. No, they're not going to. They don't. Sadly, they don't usually give the exact sculpts on there. The credit will be online.
I'd be interested to see that, because I reckon someone's actually got a good grip on how to do Tyranids at the minute.
Yeah, well,
looking at some of the other kits there, you know.
That takes me on to my next point. This is so Tyranidy. You look at it, and it is a giant flying birthing pod.
Yes.
You can imagine the Tyranid pushing its way through the gaping maw to come onto the field. I love it.
I could actually imagine those flying through space with the hive fleets.
Oh, absolutely, then landing, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is all turning up on our moon?
And this is a giant thing to deep strike.
Yes.
So it jumps in, and you're like, wow, that's huge. It's a flying gun platform. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's hard to kill. And
6
then...
wounds, 5 toughness.
And then Old One Eye comes out of it. You're like, what? Or a hive tyrant, or a winged hive tyrant.
Or 20 nids and their friends.
It's amazing. Now, I'm sure they will have altered the whole Russian doll idea, but at the moment, I believe, according to the rules, that you literally could have one of these inside of it, one of these inside of it, one of these inside of it, a Carnifex.
Yeah.
Meaning that you drop pod out, and then because it's just entered, it automatically goes 6 inches.
You do a conga line.
And then you conga line it, you could...
They had that
I'm
they
sure
had that
that
problem
one
when the
will
Scarabs first came out.
I'm sure that will change, but that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And it's a model that we've needed for so long. I'm so chuffed they've got it. I know Miguel
is our resident Tyranid player.
Absolutely, and he is squirming with excitement.
Yeah.
Now, that deep strikes in, amazing, really visually striking. Then they've done the low profile infiltrating beast. Now this, I can never say it, the Sporacist. Sporacist? Let's go Sporacist.
Yeah.
Now, imagine this infiltrating in. In games of 40k, infiltrators for me are things like Necron flayed ones and scouts and those cunning, sneaky troops that infiltrate in.
And I wouldn't say
tiny. They're small. They hide.
Squishy.
Yeah.
They've usually got very low armor save, very low toughness, but they've got a selection of something that'll stall the other person.
Absolutely, and they're always posed in sneaky poses. Tyranids, they're like, great, that's a cool idea. Infiltration. Let's do a whacking great. It's gonna.
Well,
the
it's
base
a
is
monstrous
this
creature.
size. The base is this size. When
And
you've got the carapace extended,
overhangs.
it's overhangs to there. That sneakily infiltrated. As long as it's not in, is it 12 inch? No, 18 inches line of sight. As long as it's not in line of sight, or it's further than 18 inches, it can just pop up in the middle of the floor. It's huge.
Yeah.
That is so Tyranid-y. I love it.
But I
love
presume
it.
it's a tunneler.
No, I believe
What?
it drops down and then bores into the ground.
Okay.
Well, it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
And it really, it's a bit like a souped up biovore that infiltrates in, so you can put it in the middle of the battlefield very easily.
In the objective.
Yeah, or even with the new mission objectives that move around all the time, with the tactical objectives, which I love.
Yeah.
This literally put it in the plonk it in the middle of the battlefield, it's got enough toughness, enough wounds, it's not going to die. And then, every turn...
And it gets a cup of sip.
Oh, I know. Oh, at every turn, 3 spore mines come out of it in groups. Or, once again, the Mucilid spore.
Yeah.
Mucilid spore. The giant spore. Which is, as higher than a Carnifex, can suddenly pop out of this infiltrating beastie in the middle of the battlefield, and then assault a flyer. Was that shenanigans, I hear you say? Assaulting a flyer?
No, that does fill a gap that has been in the Tyranid meta.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. With
If someone told with 3 Vendettas and you're a Tyranid army, you'll go, oh, I'm hoping I'm just bringing a swarm because then you've got nothing to shoot.
But the Helldrake is a flyer with monstrous claws that can't assault other flyers. This spore mine, well, it can vector strike, yeah, I guess. But I just love the idea, this giant spore mine coming out, zooming straight at a flyer,
Yeah.
and then it explodes at initiative 10 with a strength 8 AP2 or something hit.
On the front side or back?
Side armour, always side
Really?
armour. So it's strength 8, that's gonna, most planes rarely go
11,
above
12.
11 side armour. Most flyers, I think, yeah, most are at 11. There are obvious exceptions. So actually, that's still glancing on a 3.
Yeah.
So it's your anti-flyer.
Is it blast
infiltrates
template?
in. No, it's not a blast because it's a flyer.
Yeah.
I believe it's just a single strength 8 hit.
Okay.
But then you've got the other spore mines for the rest of the game to just scatter all over the centre of the battlefield.
What's the spawn mines movement at the minute? Is that still the...
I think it's 6 inches. It's not a huge amount.
Yeah, but someone's going to have to waste shooting on it, otherwise you
Yeah.
assault them.
But the point is, it gives you that presence in the centre of the battle. Because Tyranids come on at the back and run forward, and they
Yeah.
have to take that time.
Yeah.
And it gives a lot of time for the opponent to move into their first half of the battlefield,
To the bits they want to control.
and then and set up their gun teams. This lets you control parts of the centre of the battlefield straight away as an
Especially
army.
if they're doing an opposed flank.
Exactly.
So I'll get line breaker before we start.
It's crazy, isn't it? I love what they're doing with it. And these
Yeah.
that's a brand new model. I don't think they've ever... Sorry, a brand new model and a brand new idea and a creature.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it before. And the rules...
How many
3
infiltrating
in White
monstrous
Dwarf.
creatures do we have?
No. Well, you had... Tyrannocyte, is it? The one that the Morlock. Is it the Morlock? The one the giant worm that comes out
the
from underground, the
tunnelers.
tunnelling one, yeah.
But even so...
But then GW's done the amazing thing of giving you the free rules from Black Library. And then if you're like us, and most gamers out there, they're bringing you a fantastic, hardback, sleeved, dual book, sleeved like the Nagash and Tyranid Legends books, sorry,
Yeah.
End Times books, of Shield of Baal, I believe it is.
So, Blood Angel's getting eaten, right?
Yes, that seems to be exactly what it is from the artwork.
What a shame.
And we all know Blood Angels haven't got a hardback codex yet, so that might, I don't know.
We shall wait.
Signs to come. But yeah, so Shield of Baal, it's got 2 books. One is all fluff for Nids.
Yeah.
So I don't know what on earth to in that. Just lots of stories of Nids eating things.
Nom, nom.
Heroic last stands that are obliterated.
Well, no, it's the heroic last stands where they form the gun line and then they get ambushed from behind or below.
Yes, with the giant spores. Yeah, and I love it. And the other book is the rules. So it's reprinting the rules from the White Dwarfs. I'll be interested to see if there's any new rules in there. Because, like in the Glockin, they snuck in a couple of, like, Festus Ascendant, Karl Franz Ascendant.
Yeah.
Will they sneak in a couple of new rules for Nids?
Characters?
Who knows?
We shall have to wait, and we shall have to see.
We'll leave that for next week.
Until next time.
Thanks, guys.
Remember to subscribe to the channel and like us on Facebook for all of your gaming needs.